Hey everybody, welcome back. In this video, I'm very excited to go through my old homemade TCG called Monster Wars. Now, here's some of the art I did for Monster Wars. And I'm very excited to do this video, like I said, because this is where I started. This is where I came up with ideas. I started brainstorming, working with cards, cutting out cards, doing the homemade aspect, doing digital art. This is where I started. This is my origins. This is my story. So I'm very excited to go through it. So let's get into it. So it's kind of hard to remember, but this is of course the art, and you have the name up here, and you might find some similarities with my card game Realm Rumble, my newest card game. As you can see, I have the rarity up here. Now in this game, the rarity is colored. All my cards are colored, so it is going to be a little better to look at than probably some of my Realm Rumble cards. Now these are all random creatures created by myself, inspired off of real world things, such as you can see here, Scorpion. And there is some backstory, some lore in these cards. Hopefully I will be coming out with new videos, more videos on this card game. Some more backstory to it, but in this video I just want to go over what the cards are and going through them, showing off some of my old art. So the basics of this card is, of course, the name Coral, Royal, the rarity Epic, which is the purple, the cost, which is 1, the cost. Then you have the attacks. So this attack is pinch. Does 4 damage. Poison Sting does 7. Now it is kind of hard to remember what the whole premise of the game was, but it is vaguely coming back to me. I can kind of vaguely remember, so I'll go into more depth about that later. But you have the background here of pinch, which is blue, right? So blue, there are, like, similar to Realm Rumble, how there's realms. You have water, yellow is electricity, green is nature, red is fire, the brown was, I think, rock. Yeah, and then the purple here is kind of hard to see between the blue and purple, but the purple is like a dark realm, kind of the shadow realm. So this creature's from the realm or the place of electricity, but when it's attacking a creature, you'll roll a dice and say you get 6. Now, if I'm going against, I'm going against this creature, right, a blue creature, since this is shaded in blue, I can add on 4 extra damage. So Slup Rock, I would do a total of 10 damage to. Now Slup Rock would roll a dice and see how much health he has. So say he also rolls a 6. Now since he's going against an electricity card, he would also add on 9 to his 6. So that would be, I think, 15, if my math is correctly. It is late at night, so I'm a little slow at math right now, but that would be 15 damage or 15 health, and he would, on Coral right here, the Scorpion guy, he would only do 10, right? So 4 plus 6, so he'd only do 10 damage, so he would not win the battle. So that's basically like the basics of the game, how to attack and defend. I think that's right. It's kind of hard to remember, but yeah. Going in to more of the card art, we have Slup Rock. He's gold, costs 2. Excuse me. And you can read the attacks and the names. I just see this guy's like a huge serpent, surfing in the water, just roaming around or swimming around. Next up, the Ruku. One of my favorite arts of the game. I put Coral up front and Daruku. These are some of my favorite arts. It is really fun to look at. So I'll put that right up there. Then we have next up Flupra, also another fan favorite art of mine. Inspired by just a mushroom growing outside. From the dark realm, I could just see it. It has this purple glow around it. Pretty cool. It's actually a force field, hence one of the attacks. Then we have Turned Guardian. Some of the lore I'll be getting into later, hopefully in future videos about this. Then I have Sasso, also from the Water Realm. He's a common, which is the gray. Box, from the Nature Realm. I think this was the first Nature Realm card we've seen. I've showed off right now. Then Percut. Sorry, I don't really know how to really pronounce these names too well, because it's been over like 2 years, I think, since I've stopped making this game. So it's been a long time. Just this summer, I got back into doing Realm homemade TCG, and I made Realm Rumble. So it's been a long time since I went over these cards, but I'm trying to do my best to pronounce the names correctly, or to what I can remember. This one, this was a Ruby rare, which is actually one of the rarities in Realm Rumble. But Guardians of the Tree costs 3, so it's pretty expensive compared to the other ones. And this is supposed to represent a force field, and it's protecting this tree. Now this tree, it goes into the lore, but it's kind of like the tree of life, and these are the guardians. Now you might remember the Turn Guardian. I can get them out. The Turn Guardian. So that is a little bit of lore that I tried to create in this game. You can see kind of how my mind worked, but it has Tree Berries, which does 5, and then Force Field. And this is actually an effect implied onto a creature, or a monster, which is, I think, one of the only times I did this. I think there's a couple other cards, but I thought that was pretty cool. Next up, Rust. I don't have a card back, as you see. I just cut out a piece of, like a note card. Yeah. Rust, also a cool card, kind of how it's cut off. Only costs 0, so it is a pretty cheap creature, but not the best stats too. Boko, just a huge like mountainous creature, pretty cool. Sultra, this was also one of my favorite arts, coming from the Dark Realm. It's just kind of, it's not really filled in the best with art wise, but I thought it was just so cool. It's just kind of like long arms, long legs. It's just very abstract. Then I have Krupla, or Kruplu. Also, I have a lot of favorite arts in this because they're purely made by myself. I just did a bunch of sketches and then would just add color to them, and I loved how it ended out. It was supposed to be a jellyfish mixed in with if you know what an anglerfish, I think that's called, with the little light bulb. And they live in like the trenches, so this is like a jellyfish mixed in with the anglerfish, yeah, angelerfish. So yeah, pretty cool. Next up, Truku. This is pretty crazy, but yeah, kind of like the Wi-Fi symbol down here, but it's a pretty cool card from the Electric Realm. Next up, Auric, defensive mode. So I think I have, so I never made the Auric or Auric. I don't know what the other card would have been, but I never made the offensive mode. So this is the defensive mode, but it says give 3 extra defense to any rock monsters. So more of a support card. Pretty cheap too. Then we have Pyro Egg, another 0 cost creature. Pretty cool how this is actually supposed to be an archetype, but I never got around to it. But also, it was pretty cool how it also involved lore too. Next up, Phalox. This is another abstract creature. Just out of the normal, or out of the blue, you wouldn't really see this when you're considering nature. So I like this card. It's pretty cool. And then I also have, these are some of my, I'll go after this card first. So Arcop Rebel. Now if you remember, let me get it. There it is. Coral Royal. As you can see, it says Royal. And then I have Rebel. So this is supposed to be like set 1 is a battle of the Royals and Rebels. These are like one of the best creatures in the game. There's supposed to be multiple Royal creatures and Rebel creatures, but I never got around to making that. I did do sketches and stuff, which I will show in later videos, but it was pretty cool. I'd probably pick Coral over Arcop. Probably go for the Royal rather than the Rebel. Yeah, both really cool cards, really cool artwork. So yeah. Like I was saying before, these cards I skipped over. These were kind of the first editions of what I wanted my card game to be about. As you can see, I kind of go with the big attack, 350, 400, different stages, different levels. I always like the effect box in the box here. As you can see, I have them all in my card games. You see there, but this card I actually would have added it into Monster Wars, but again, I never got around to it. But this is also a really cool card. I really like the art. Very abstract. Yeah, I never wrote an effect, but this is kind of the start of the first editions of cards I was doing. Another one was this. I actually would put the rarity in the top right. I didn't have a cost. This guy was Fudu. This guy was Slicko or Slicko. So yeah, pretty cool. And this one had an effect. Look at the opponent's hand for 1 turn, which is insanely powerful. Now I'm looking at that. This is 2 years ago again, so I wasn't as smart as I am today, but I've definitely took some stuff off of these games and used it towards Realm Rumble to make it a much better game. So yeah. And then going off of creatures, I now have spells. And I did want to make this game more complex by adding spells, which is, they didn't really make the game too complex. I did try playing with my friend once. It went okay, but yeah. So this card, extra metal, costs 0. The opponent cannot attack on their next turn. Really good card. Now I'm looking at it. It's insane. Yeah, I used pen, crayons, and colored pencils to do this. So yeah, pretty cool. Also from the Grass Realm. Another one from the Grass Realm. This is also supposed to be an archetype kind of spell. This was the Staff of Life. They're supposed to be like a Sword of Fire, stuff like that, like a Shield of Water, stuff like that. So yeah. And then I forget what this meant, but I think this was like a equipment spell. This little hashtag there. I did take inspiration off of Heroic, which is a homemade TCG game that has stopped, sadly, making videos, but really a huge inspiration for my card game. Yeah. You can see, read the effect there. It is common. Poison Pot. This is really cool. All the coins your opponent has must be put back in the middle. So it's pretty cool. Kind of like a trap spell that you can see in Realm Rumble. Then Coin Oven. This is also really fun to play with. It was equipment spell. It says, until this card is destroyed, you collect 2 coins during each of your turns. So kind of a coin ramp up card to help work with coins, which is seen a lot, especially in the Sea Realm in Realm Rumble. Next up, Oruk Tree. This goes into the lore with the guardians of the tree. So this is, like I said before, the Tree of Life. You can see here's like the berries and stuff. It says give 2 health points to your tower. You can't go over 5 health points. So I forget where your tower was. I think that was just yourself. So if you go down below a certain amount of health, then you lose the game. Yeah. Next up, Bombs of Death. It was pretty cool making this with all the color. It says kill 2 of your opponent's active monsters. I think I spelled that wrong. Yeah, I did. Yeah. So this is pretty cool. This is really big for getting rid of monsters that were in the way. So yeah. And then Fire and Ice Potion. This is actually an inspiration off of, if you know, the homemade TCG game called Chaos Galaxy with their, I think, Ice Elixir and Blaze Elixir. So this is kind of inspiration off of that. I love making this card. It was so cool. Yeah, it says pick one of your opponent's fire or water monsters to be discarded. So yeah, pretty cool spell to go with. Yeah, that's it, guys. As you can see, I did a lot. This also took like up my whole summer. I love doing this. Sadly, I didn't continue, but maybe in the future I might. We'll see. Maybe even sell it in the future if I can create a full set of like 30, 40 cards. But yeah, I don't know exactly how much cards I have in here. I didn't count, but I love going through my old TCGs where I started, what inspired me to make and become a homemade TCG creator. But yeah, hopefully this inspires some of you guys with some abstract art, stuff like that, to make your own card game, hopefully. Because I can see that I've done a lot, and I've been inspired through stuff that I see in other games, on the internet, in the real world. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great rest of your day, and that's it. Oh yeah, and also forgot to add, please like and subscribe. It does help out. The Discord link will be in the description below. So if you guys want to look at some more art of Realm Rumble and Monster Wars, then go do that below. Go join. Yeah, I'm really trying to grow this community. I always say this because I think it's really important to know that I want this community to become huge. I want my card game to expand, so a bunch of people will be playing it. So yeah, hope you guys have a great rest of your day or weekend or week. So yeah, that's it.